Let's look at this question. There are 5 tables at Little Italy, a food joint in Mumbai. The tables are labeled 1 to 5. Due to social distancing norms applicable, the restaurant can allow a seat to seat guests only on odd numbered tables. So people can only sit on table 1, table 3, and table 5. Each table can seat at most 4 people. Okay. The menu served at Little Italy, along with prices and approximate preparation time, is mentioned as follows. Okay. We have the menu given here. This is the table we referenced. The preparation time could only be either the minimum or the maximum as mentioned in the table. So a 6-inch pizza can either take 10 minutes or 15 minutes, nothing in between. Okay. It was observed that if the number of guests on that particular table were more than 2, the preparation time of the dish was maximum possible. On the other hand, if there were only two guests, then the preparation time was the minimum possible. So if you have 2 or fewer guests, then minimum time. If you have more than 2 guests, then maximum time. Okay. All the dishes were always served together when the dish with the maximum possible time was ready. So if people have ordered multiple dishes, let's say the first order of Anju, Bijoy, and Chetan, if this was pizza 12 inches, these are 3 people, so maximum time. So 15 minutes for pizza it will take, and for 2 cold drinks, it will take 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It is not time per dish, it is time. So 3 to 5 minutes, so 5 minutes. So 15 minutes will be the time taken for Anju, Bijoy, and Chetan. For the first order, time for preparation time will be 15 minutes. The prep time will be 15 minutes. Okay, I can clarify that. The time taken to consume the food, all the dishes are always served together when the dish with the maximum possible time was ready. Okay. The time taken to consume the food was exactly 20 minutes when the food was brought on the table, when there were exactly 2 people on the table. So if there are 2 people, they finish their meal in 20 minutes. With 3 people on the table, the time taken to consume the food will be 25 minutes. And with 4 people on the table, the time taken will be 30 minutes to consume the food. So food consumption time also varies, food preparation time also varied. Okay. The staff at the restaurant make sure that a lower numbered table is occupied before a higher numbered table. Okay. The staff needs exactly 5 minutes to clean and sanitize the table before bringing the next set of customers to sit on that table. So it may so happen that a customer has come in and then they have to wait before they're seated. So the time that they get a seat also is important, or at least needs to be recorded. The following table shows the list of groups of customers that entered the restaurant on a particular Sunday afternoon. The orders are placed as soon as the guests occupy a particular table. So after they have occupied a table, only then does the timer start for preparation. Okay. For example, Anju, Bijoy, and Chetan place the order at 12:30 p.m. There are more than 2 persons. Since there are more than 2 persons on the table, all the items will take the maximum possible time. A 12-inch pizza will take 15 minutes. This is the maximum time taken of any of the items ordered by them. So the entire order of these 3 will be served to them at 12:45, 15 minutes prep time. But then the prep time is not the only metric that needs to be captured. A lot of things have to be captured. So you would have to make a table. Now, because these are guests mentioned this way, I'm going to name them as, this is group A, this is group B, this is group C, this is group D, this is group E, this is group F, and this is group G. So my first column is going to be group. Then it is going to be arrival time, is in the time that they have come here. Then what table they are being assigned. Then table occupied time. When are they occupying the table? Then the order amount. What is the bill that they end up with? Then serving time. What time do they get their food? Then they leave at what time? Because after the food is served, they will either take 20 minutes or 30 minutes of 40 minutes to 20 minutes or 25 minutes or 30 minutes to complete their meal. And then sanitation gets over at what time? Because it takes 5 minutes to sanitize the table after a particular group leaves. So many things we have to capture. So we'd have to make a table. Let's try that. We have this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 groups. Okay. So group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, then group 5, group 6, and finally group 7. Even within this, the way I'll try to record it in a manner that is sensible. So first I can happily write A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and their arrival times are 12:30, 12:35, 12:40, 1:05, 1:25, 1:50, and 1:55. Okay, first group, they will of course be given table 1. They will occupy the table at 12:30 itself. It's not like they will have to wait. No table were occupied so far. So 12:30 they will occupy. Now what are they ordering? Pizza 12 inches, which is 4.99, and 2 cold drinks, which is 198. So 4.99 and 198. These are the this is the amount of the order or the bill that they will face. Now serving will happen. Prep time was 15 minutes now because pizza was the longest time duration item. So they will be served at 12:45. They will be served at 12:45. They will eat their food in 20 minutes, or how much time? 3 people, no? So they will eat their food in 25 minutes. So they will leave at 1:10. And finally, the table will get finished sanitizing at 1:15. This is all that is happening with group A. Now let's look at group B. Group B, they come in at 12:35. They will get table 3, the next order numbered table. So they will be seated at 12:35. Then the order amount that they have ordered a pasta and a garlic bread. Pasta is 349 and garlic bread is 199. Okay, so 548. 548 most likely. Yeah, 548. And also add these up. No? Let me do 198 plus 499. So 7. And 1 carried over. So 9. 497 plus 200, 697. 697 is the billing for the first group. Now, for group B, they ordered a pasta and a garlic bread. Garlic bread takes 10 minutes. Pasta takes, no, the group has how many people? 4 people. So garlic bread takes 10 minutes, pasta takes 20 minutes. So 20 minutes later, they'll be served. So they'll be served at 12:55. Because 4 people are involved, they will eat for 30 minutes. So they'll stay here till 1:25. And the table will finish sanitizing at 1:30. Now at 12:40, the next group, group C comes in. They will get table 5. They'll be seated at 12:40 itself. They'll be seated at 12:40 itself. What are they ordering? This is 2-person group. So pizza 9 inches. So 399. And then 2 cold drinks. So 198. And a garlic bread. So 199. 998. So something ending with 6. 2 carried over. 2 carried over gets me to 9. 2 carried over. So 796. 796. Now, because these are only two people, the preparation time is going to be minimum. Let's see, pizza 9 inches take 10 minutes. Pasta takes, sorry, pizza 9 inches, 2 cold drinks and garlic bread. Cold drink takes 5 minutes, garlic bread takes 5 minutes, pizza takes 10 minutes. So they'll be served at 12:50. From table occupied time to 10 minutes, 12:50 they'll be served. Because there are only two people, they take 20 minutes to eat. So at 1:10, they'll be done eating. And at 1:15, the table is available for occupancy. Now, the next group who comes in, 105, group D, can they sit on table 1 at 105? No. Can they sit at table 3? No. Can they sit at table 5? No. So they will have to wait. But which is the table that gets free earliest? Table 1 and table 5 get free together. But table 1 will be the table that they occupy because a lower number table always gets before this year. The staff at the restaurant make sure that a lower number table is occupied before a higher number table. So this group will sit down at table number 1. When will they sit down? At 1:15. They will sit down at 1:15. And then what have they ordered? This is group of 4 people. Pasta and pizza 6 inches. Group of 4 people. So 15 minutes for this, 20 minutes for this. So 20 minutes. Amount I will worry about later. 20 minutes. So they'll be served at 1:35. Half an hour they will take. So they will finish eating at 2:05 and they will leave the table at 2:10. Now the amount spent by them will be pasta is 349. Pizza 6 inches is 299. 300 plus 348, so 648. This is the amount spent by group D. Now group E, Nikita and Oliver, 2 people only. So good. These people have come in at 125. At this time, only table 5 is empty. So they will be assigned table 5. They will get table at 125 straight away. They wouldn't have to wait. These people have had to wait for 10 minutes before getting the table. At 125, this group E sits down. Group E has ordered pizza 12 inches, which is 499. And pasta, which is 349. This is a rich group. And 2 cold drinks, which is 198. So total billing 998 is again 6, ending with 6. Okay. Then 2 carried over. 994 is 22 plus 2 is 4. Again 2 carried over. 431 is 8. So 1046. These people have ordered items worth 1046. How many people were there? 2 people. These 2 people have a wonderful appetite. Because these are 2 people, time taken for the items is going to be minimum possible. Pizza 12 inches in 10 minutes. Pasta in 15 minutes. And cold drinks in 5 minutes. Okay. So 15 minutes is the time. At 125, they'll be served at 140. Because there are only 2 people, they'll finish eating at 20 minutes. So at 2 o'clock, they'll be done. And their table will be available for occupancy at 2:05. Okay. The next group that comes in, table group F at 150. Table 1 will not be free. Table 5 will not be free. So this will be assigned table 3. Now, table 3 was empty since 1:30. So these people will get seated at 150 straight away. What have they ordered? Garlic bread. Garlic bread is 199. 2 soups. Soup is 249. So 2 times of that is 298. 1 cold drink, so 99. So 998, again 6, 2 carried over. So 9, again 2 carried over. So 596. This is the order amount that they have. Now, because how many people were there? For group F, there were 3 people. So time taken will be maximum. Time for garlic bread is 10. Time for 2 soups is 15 and time for 1 cold drink is, so 15 minutes it will take them. So 2:05, their serving will be at 2:05. Because there are 3 people, they will take 25 minutes to eat. So they'll be done eating at 2:30 and their table is ready for reoccupancy at 2:35. The next group that comes in is at 1:55. At 1:55, neither table 1 nor table 5 nor table 3 is available. So these people would have to wait. The table that gets free earliest is table 5. So they will be assigned a table 5 and they'll be seated only at 2:05. So these people have had to wait for 10 more minutes. These people have had to wait for 10 more minutes. Yeah. Now what is the billing here? They ordered a pizza 9 inches. Nice. So they have a billing of $3.99. Only 2 people. So time taken will be 10 minutes. They'll be served their food at 2:15. They will finish eating in 20 minutes because there are only 2 people. So it will be 2:35. They will get their food. And at 2:40, the table is done sanitizing. For all the groups, we have the precise numbers. When did they arrive? What table did they take? What table? As in, when did they sit down on the table? What was the order amount? At what time were they served their food? What time did they leave? Finished their eating, and at what time their table was sanitized and available for usage again. Let's go to the individual questions. Find the total billing in rupees made on table number 5. Table 5 is this, and this. So I need 796 plus 1046 plus 399. I'm giving 4 to this, becomes 800. I'm giving 1 to this, becomes 400. I've given 4 here, I've given 1 here. So this becomes 1041. These numbers have to be added. 1200 plus 1041 is 2241. And that is the first option also. That should be the answer. Next, find the time in minutes for which table number 1 was occupied by some customer or the other. Okay. See, table number 1 was occupied from 12:30 to 1:10. So group A occupied it for 40 minutes. And then table number 1 was again occupied by group D from 1:15 to 2:05. So 45 plus 5. So for 50 minutes. So using both the groups, the table number 1 was occupied for 90 minutes. 90 minutes. This is done. Next thing, if due to certain issues, only table number 1 and table number 5 were available on that day, all other things remaining the same. At what time would the last set of customers leave? In case of waiting, the table will be provided to the customer on the basis of first come, first serve basis. Essentially, what this is doing is, instead of having 3 tables available, previously we had table 1, table 3, and table 5 available. Now we have only table 1 and table 5 available, which would mean you would have to engage in all this work all over again. You would have to engage in at least when is the work that we would need to refresh is the table occupied work, the table assigned work, when are they served, when do they leave, and when is the new table available for sanitization. Because their arrival time is fixed, their order amount is fixed, and the group names are fixed. So these 5 columns need to be reworked. At this time, you should ask yourself, is it worthwhile to rework this entire table if it is only for one question? So you go to the next question in the set and see if it utilizes that information. Otherwise, if you had to do all this work only for one question, it would not be worthwhile. For question 4, they ask us, for how much time in minutes did the last set of guests had to wait to get seated? So yes, now you see, with this working, you can solve 2 questions. So we'll have to do it all over again. There is no way to avoid it. Okay. Table occupied for the first 2 people, I am not really changing, because the first 2 people will definitely sit as and when they come. There are 2 tables available. Because they are sitting in everything, I wouldn't even need to change their time that they get served or time that they leave. None of those metrics would change. It remains precisely the same. The changes will need to take place only in the bottom 5. Now, most likely, if you're doing it in a notebook, you would have to create a table all over again and populate it again. Okay. We'll start. First group gets table 1. Second group gets table 5. Now, the next group that came in at 12:40, they can be assigned a table 1. The earliest they can be assigned a table is at 1:15. They cannot be assigned a table prior to that. So we'll assign the table to them at 1:15. Okay. They'll get table 1 at 1:15. So 20 plus 50, 35 minutes. These folks had to wait. These nice folks had to wait for 35 minutes. Oh, I could have saved my effort. 1 minute. I'll show you something even more wonderful. If I had been more careful in recording. Okay. Now see what I can do. I have to get rid of the times that they got served at, but this 1 remains, this 5 remains. I can record. Oh, 1 minute. From the original table, if I had enough space available, I'd make a new table. But from the original table, look at this wonderful thing. I can record the first 2. I don't need to. It took 10 minutes for serving here. It took 20 minutes for serving here. It took 15 minutes for serving here. It took 15 minutes for serving here. And it took 10 minutes for serving here. This I can record. Additionally, these groups, they sat here for 20 minutes. They sat here for 30 minutes. They sat here for 20 minutes. They sat here for 25 minutes. And they sat here for 20 minutes. It is not that if I hadn't recorded it appropriately, if I hadn't recorded it this way, I can't do it. I know the numbers, I know the recording, but if I record it this way, see, the good thing is, I know the time it takes to serve for each group. So as soon as I know the time at which they are occupying the table, the subsequent number generation would be easier. I wouldn't have to go back to the table and refer if it is 3 people or 4 people and what are the items that they're ordering and how much time it takes. So that working I can save by simply recording it ahead of time. If I had 2 tables, I could have shown that better, but given the positive space, this is how we operate. And this last table, sanitization is not a problem. Everywhere it is 5 minutes. So I can get rid of it in entirety straight away. Okay. Now, the first group definitely got table 1. The second group definitely got table 5. Now, the third group can only occupy table 1 at 1:15. It takes 10 minutes for their serving to come out. So they will get their food at 1:25 now. They eat their food for 20 minutes. So 1:45, up until 1:45 they'll eat and they will leave at, and table will be done sanitizing at 1:50. Now the group that came in at 1:05, table 1 is occupied till 1:50, table 5 is occupied till 1:30. So these people will be assigned table 5 and they will be seated only at 1:30. 25-minute wait time, 35-minute wait time. You can keep on recording it simultaneously. If they sit down at 1:30, food serving happens after 20 minutes. So 1:50. They eat for 30 minutes. So 2:20. They keep on eating till 2:20. And the table is ready for occupancy at 2:25. Now people who come in at 1:25, they will be assigned to seat table 1. They can sit down at 1:50. They had a 25-minute wait time. 25-minute wait time. From 1:50, it takes 15 minutes of preparation. So 2:05, they will have the time at which they get served. 20 minutes further, they will eat till 2:25. The table is ready for occupancy at 2:30. Group F will be seated on table 5 at 2:25. and they've had to wait for 35 minutes, 15 minutes of serving time. So 240, 25 minutes of eating. So 3:05, up until 3:05, they are eating. And at 3:10, the table is sanitized. Now this last group, they'll be given table 1. They'll be given table 1. They can occupy it at 2:30. They had 35 minutes of waiting time, 10 minutes of prep time, 20 minutes of eating. So at 3, their food was done. And at 3:05, the table was done sanitizing. If only 2 tables were available, this is the working that would happen. Now, the question. If due to certain issues, only table 1 and table 5 were available on that day, all other things remain the same. At what time would the last set of customers leave? Okay. Now they're saying the last set of customers, in case of waiting, the table will be provided to the customers on the basis of first come, first serve basis. See, last set of customers leaving, if you say it can be defined in 2 ways. The last set of customers, the group of people who leave last, the group of people who are leaving last, and the last set of customers can also be the last set of customers in the list, Sanjay and Tanuj, group G. Now see, for group G, the leaving time is 3 o'clock. They leave at 3 o'clock. Group G leaves at 3 o'clock. But the last set of customers, or the people who leave the restaurant last, will be group F, in fact, and they will leave at 3:05. This could be a potential cause of concern if the options had 3:05 and 3 both. The fact that 3:05 is not present, it means answer has to be option A. If both of those options are present, then maybe there would be some sort of confusion. Otherwise, for one option only, this has to be the answer. And last question, for how much time in minutes did the last set of guests had to wait to get seated? Okay, last set of guests had to wait to get seated. The answer here has to be 35. They had to wait for 35 minutes to get seated. And that is the entirety of this set. This set is what is known as an RC set, wherein there is very little interpretation, but there is a lot of hard work. And these are the kind of sets that you see in an exam. You say, okay, if I can't crack anything else in less time, I will come back to it. Because even if you were doing this efficiently, this will take you upwards of 17, 18 minutes, which should not be the first set you pick up in an exam. But hopefully, with the recording and everything, you learned something.